All right, welcome to today's webinar. Before we actually get started, before I officially welcome you to the data analysis webinar, I need you to get some things ready for me, right? I'll need you to get some things ready for me. The very first thing that I need you to get for me is you will need to get yourself a jotter, a pen and a jotter, so that you jot, because we are going to learn a whole lot of things in today's webinar, and we are going to do theory and practical together. So get yourself a pen and a jotter. And also one more thing, very important, a bottle of water. So you get yourself a bottle of water. Do you understand? Just get yourself a bottle of water and we are good to go, because we are going to learn, we are going to laugh. It's not just about learning. We are going to play and we are going to dance together in today's webinar. We are going to learn, we are going to play, we are going to laugh. Right. So now I want to officially welcome you to the data analysis webinar. I will talk about what the future holds. So this class is going to be in 3 sections. The very first section is the theory aspect, where we are going to talk about everything you need to know about data analysis. Even if you are new, at the end of today's webinar, if someone should come to you and ask you that, okay, what do you know about data analysis? You'll be able to tell them something after today's webinar, and you will be able to do some practical after today's webinar. So this class is going to be in 3 sections. The very first section is the theory section, where we are going to talk about importance of data analysis, the definition of data analysis, tools you are going to use for data analysis, career opportunity for data analysis, why you should go into data analysis. Then after that, we are going to analyze data together so that you see how easy it is to analyze data. So a lot of people used to think that, okay, data analysis is very hard, but it's too simple. Data analysis is simple because there are tools that can help us to achieve a whole lot of things. For instance, Microsoft Excel, Power BI, SQL, Python, R. They are there to make our work much more easier. So we are going to do all that in today's class. All right, someone is writing on my screen. Let me just quickly clear it so that we can have a good visual. All right. So we want to talk about embracing data analysis as your career choice and a glimpse into the future of data analysis. All right, so let's get started. It won't actually make any sense if I should start without formal introduction of myself. Right, so let me quickly introduce myself. And if you look at this is me right here, but here I did not put on my face cap. So let me remove my face cap. I'm still using the same haircut, right? So this is me right here. But today I'm on digital world face cap, and coincidentally, I'm on digital world polo. So my name is Sani Akim Abiodun, right? Me, Sani Akim Abiodun. I'm a computer instructor and also a digital marketer. So I train people in tech, whatever you want to learn, right? We train a whole lot of things. I'm a data analyst, a data scientist. I'm also into cloud computing, right? I'm also into cloud computing, a bit into cybersecurity, and also I do digital marketing. I run Facebook ads very well. That's why you get to see me on Facebook, right? So I build websites with content management system, which we call WordPress. So I use WordPress to build websites. And I work with Digital World Tech Academy. And at Digital World Tech Academy, we've been able to train more than 1,000 students. Last year, more than 10,000 students rather. Last year, both online and offline. So we offer online training, just like this one that you are in. And we also offer physical training too at our physical location. We have 3 different branches in Ikorodu, and we are coming out of Ikorodu very soon. We are moving to Ogba very soon. You are going to see us there. And before you know, we'll be in your location very soon. By next year, we'll be in Ghana by the special grace of God. So we train people and organizations on Microsoft Office packages, data analysis. You want to learn Microsoft Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Access, Publisher, G Suite, and different things in Microsoft Office packages, data analysis, which is actually my field, data science, which is also my field, cloud computing, cyber security, web design and web development, digital marketing, anything that you want to learn in tech. We are here to help you. Whether you are in Nigeria or you are not in Nigeria, we offer it both online and offline. So we do physical and we do online. The only thing that we don't train is how to scam people. So we don't know how to do that, right? So we don't train people on that. And in 2024, we're able to train over 3,000 students physically and more than 10,000 online. And this year, I think we've done more than that. And 5 organizations, that was last year. So we offer corporate training also. So if you want us to come to your organization, then you'll see us there, we'll train. So we go to schools also to sensitize students about tech, about coming into tech. Because as you all know, we are actually lagging behind in this tech industry, especially Africans, right? So that's why we go to universities, senior secondary school and junior secondary school to sensitize people about tech. So if you see us in your school, don't worry, maybe in your university or anywhere, we can come there anytime. So to just sensitize people about going into tech, right? Because you know everything is all about tech right now. So let's talk about digital world a bit before we actually go into today's class. So this is me and some of my team member. So if you're looking for me right here, this is my teeth because I'm kind of black. This is my teeth and my face cap. You can see me right here and my face cap and some of my team member right here. And about digital world is an online and physical learning platform with the aim of making the tech skill affordable and accessible for everyone right now. And that's why we offer both online and physical training. And our mission is to make computer education very accessible and affordable to Nigeria and Africa in general. All right, someone said I should go straight to the point. So that's what I'm going to do directly now. Okay. So let's get started without wasting too much of time. Let's get started. Now we'll talk about a glimpse into the future of an analyst, right? A glimpse into the future of data analysis before we actually talk about the introduction to data analysis, why you actually need to come into data analysis right now. Because I can tell you that currently now in today's world, data analysis is one of the top 2 in the whole world, no matter where you are. In as much as you know or you have knowledge about data analysis, you can get job, and even if you don't want to work, you can get projects. So we have one of our students that joined our batch last month, and he has been getting projects. He even messaged me yesterday that he is in Kenya. He opened a Fiverr account and he has gotten a whole lot of projects just from last month till this month. He has gotten 3 different projects on data entry. That is how you are going to start. So if you don't have any knowledge at all about data analysis, you need to start from data entry first. So you can even start using that to get projects before you actually go deep into data analysis, into analyzing data, into prediction and forecasting, right? So now, as we all know, data is no longer just a byproduct of our digital life. Data is life. Data is everywhere. No matter the organization, they will have data. And in as much as they are dealing with people, they will always have data. They will have a database. So they need an analyst that will help them to interact with that database. Like I was in a meeting with the CEO of one organization, and he was telling me about how he will use VBA, like how he wants to use VBA to connect to the database so that they will be able to analyze their data. He was one of my students, right? Now he's using VBA to connect to database so that they will be able to track the attendance of his staff, right? So it is the fuel powering innovation, decision-making, and competitive advantage across all industry. So it is the fuel powering innovation, just like what I told you now. Now we have this CEO, this man, that is trying to innovate, right? So they are trying to track all the staff clocking time. So the moment you resume to the office and the moment you close, the number of hours you use, right? Is using Excel VBA because he does not know Python, right? So now, just by knowing Excel very well, he's using Excel VBA to connect to database so that instead of writing it down in a book, they will be able to track the actual time that someone resumed to the office and someone leaves the office, just by knowing Excel and learning more after knowing Excel to go into VBA, then connecting that VBA to the database, right? For them to be able to track all the activity of their staff. That is innovation. And even out of that, if you go to the medical field, right? So the medical field, it's also help them to innovate, to do more research. So if let's say a disease comes out now, right? They want to know the drugs that can help them to solve that, right? They want to know the medicine, so they will be able to do research. And there's no way they will be able to know that, okay, people are actually going to need these products if they don't have the data. So they will need to have the data of their patients for them to be able to know that, okay, this is what people are coming in for treatment. So we need to do research about the medicine that people can use to help them solve that issue, right? That is innovation. Without data, there is no way you'll be able to think of the next thing, because you actually don't know. If you don't have the data, you don't know if your product is actually selling or not, right? If you are making product or not, the location where your product is selling or not. Because you all agree with me, in Nigeria, we have some products, right? But if you get to Ghana, you won't see those products. You will see another type of product, right? If you get to Cameroon, you will see another type of product. If you get to Kenya, you will see another type of product. And if you get to USA, you will see another type of product producing by the same company. That's because they know that, okay, this product is not performing very well in Nigeria, but it's performing very well in Ghana. So they will be able to do research about the type of products that is performing very well in Nigeria, so that they will be able to serve Nigeria. You understand? Then they will be able to do research about the one that will serve Kenya, that will serve Cameroon, that will serve South Africa. You understand? It's helped them to innovate, to think, right? Another thing is decision making. Decision making. So it helps organization to make decisions. Are we making profits from this product or not? Right? Are we making profits? So they'll be able to make decisions. What is our total revenue generated last month? What is the trend of our sales? Are we making more revenue, or we are making less revenue? Which month of the year are we making more sales that we actually need to stock, right? So it helps them to make decisions, and also competitive advantage across various industries, right? So this, in as much as you are thinking, you are doing more research, you'll be able to have advantage over your competitor, because before your competitor can think of producing another product, you have already done your research and you already know how to serve your people, right? Just by having data, just by analyzing your data for you to get information, right? Now, the future of data analysis promises to be a remarkable one, because all these things that I just mentioned, it is not possible without an analyst. Without you, right? You being an analyst is not possible if you are not there, right? It's either you are working with them directly in their company, or you are getting the data as a project for you to work on it and send it back to them for them to be able to make decisions. And mind you, thousands of companies are taking their businesses online. So in as much as they are taking their businesses online, they must have a database, right? And the only person that can handle database is a data analyst, right? Is a data analyst. Now, I said here, the future of data analysis promises to be a remarkable one, driven by the emerging trends and technology that are redefining the way we interact with data, because it's the life of every business, right? It's the life of every business. Now, let's move forward now to the definition of data analysis. What exactly is data analysis? What is data analysis, right? Now, data analysis is the process of examining, organizing, transforming, and interpreting raw data to extract meaningful insights, identify patterns, and support decision making. Let me take that again before I break it down. Data analysis is the process of examining, organizing, transforming, and interpreting raw data to extract meaningful insights, identify patterns, and support decision making, right? So Do you get it now? So like I said, data analysis is the process of organizing, organizing, transforming, and interpreting raw data. So now let's start from the very first thing. Examine your data. Now, the very first time they send you a data, the very first time you get a data, the next thing you have to do is examine your data. Which type of data am I working with? What do I need to do with this data? Right? So what type of data? Is it a sales data? Is it a medical data? Right? Is it a retail data? Is it a customer relation data? All those things are what you have to examine. Now, once you know the type of data, the next thing is for you to know what you are going to do to it. So do I need to merge this data? Do I have empty spaces that I need to fill? Right? That is all those things. Do I need to remove error values? Do I need to delete a column? All those things. Those are the process of examining. You are jotting every step that you want to take down. Right? You are jotting it down. Then after knowing everything, you study the data, you know what you want to do. You know the type of software that will help you to do it. Because you have some data that you don't want to use Excel, you want to use Power BI. There are some people that will tell you, don't use Excel, use Power BI. There are some people that will tell you, don't use Python, use R. I've gotten that type of project before, whereby the woman was like, don't use Excel, don't use Python. I want you to use R for this, right? Some people will say, okay, don't use R, don't use Python. I want you to use MATLAB. I want you to use Power BI. I want you to use Tableau. I want you to use SQL. You understand? So the very first thing is to know the type of your data and know the type of software that will help you to achieve what you want to achieve. Now, after knowing all those things, the next thing is to organize your data. Organize your data. So organizing the data, there's something that we call master data. That is merging your data together. Now, you should know that your data will not be coming from just one department. You have a data from the HR department, from the finance department, from the sales department. So your job is to combine everything together, to merge it together, to form a master data. That is what we call by organizing your data, right? Creating a pattern, creating a relationship between your data, right? Then after that, transforming your data, which we call data cleaning or data wrangling. So we call it data cleaning or data wrangling. So most of the time, you spend a whole lot, you spend over 50% of your time cleaning data. Now, why do you have to clean your data? Because you are not the one that do the data entry, so the data will be messy. So you don't always expect to get a clean data, right? It's not like out of 100%. Maybe some of your data that will be clean might be around 20%. The remaining 80%, you'll have to do the cleaning yourself. Because the person doing the data entry does not really have a good understanding of the data analysis. So they will enter a wrong data type, right? So sometimes where they are supposed to enter number, they might enter text there. You understand? So you have to be the one that will clean all this data. You have some missing data, right? How do you handle missing data? Do you want to remove all the missing data? Do you want to fill it with average? Do you want to fill it with mean? Do you want to fill it with anything, right? You are the one that will know that. Do you want to remove excess space? Do you want to split? Do you want to join? All those things are what you are going to do in the process of transforming your data, which we call data cleaning. And most of the time, in data cleaning, we make use of what we call Power Query. We make use of what we call Power Query to clean and transform our data. Then after that, interpreting your data. Now, before you go into interpreting your data, that is analyzing your data must be very, very clean. It must be clean before you actually go into interpreting raw data. So interpreting raw data, that is not every time you create a visualization. That is, if I say visualization, visualization is the graphical representation of your data. So we are going to do visualization together. So it's a graphical representation of your data. So it's not every time that you create a visualization. Most analysts know that it's not every time. So there are some data you just want to extract some information from it, and you don't need to put it in visualization, right? So during the process of interpreting, you should know what you want to achieve. Do you want to extract information from this data, or you want to create a visualization from this data, right? So interpreting raw data to extract meaningful insights. Now, there are some data whereby you just want to see the pattern in your data, right? Where you are going to use clustering in machine learning, right? You just want to check for the pattern in your data. And all these things help organization to make decisions. So it involves a range of techniques and tools depending on the type of data, just like what I said up here in examining your data. So it involves a range of techniques and tools depending on the type and the complexity of your data. So if your data is more complex, you might decide not to use Excel, that you want to use Python to deal with it, right? It depends on the type of data and the complexity of the data that will help you to make the decision that, okay, this is the software that I want to use. Are you guys still with me? Are you still with me? Do you understand what data analysis is all about now? Do you understand what data analysis is all about? All right, let me know if you are with me. Let me know if you are with me. Let me know if you are with me. I just have 3 people. iPhone, nice one. All right. Nice one. Knight, well done. Mr. Buki, all right. Okay, that's great. Okay, let's move forward now. So the transformative power of data analysis. Now, how do we get to transform? Because when we first started, we started as a data entry specialist. Now, how do we get to transform from being just a data entry specialist to becoming the top 2 in the whole world, right? How do we get to transform? So now this will take us to data analysis evolution, right? The type of data, the type of analysis that we have. So we are going to talk about 3 different types of data analysis. Now, data analysis has come a very long way from traditional reporting. If I tell you that a lot of people are still using traditional reporting just by using paper and pen, they are still using all these Microsoft Words, they are still using notebook, right, to deal with the data, which is traditional reporting. So we have something that we call relational database management system and non-relational database management system. That is in database, when we are talking about database, right? So if you are talking about relational database, that is the latest one. People using database, people using cloud services, right? AWS, Azure, to deal with the data, right? People using cloud, people that are taking their businesses online, then putting it into the database. Now, you know that if you want to take your businesses online and you want to put it in a database, you need a cloud storage, right? You need a very, very big storage whereby your data is going to be. And Microsoft Excel cannot take that. So if you have over 1 million data, Microsoft Excel can only take like 1 million, 1.5 million data sets. That is what Microsoft Excel can take. But in a situation whereby you have 2 million data, you have 5 million data, you can't use Excel to deal with that type of data, right? That data is very, very complex. We are talking about 5 years data set, right? 10 years data set, where you have millions of information on it. So you can't use Microsoft Excel. You have to use what we call SQL, or you take it to Python, or use R to deal with it, right? So a lot of people are still using traditional reporting, but now we have advanced tools, which will take us to 3 different types of data analysis. So we have 3 different types of data analysis, but if you search Google, you are going to see 4, but I'm going to explain 3 to you now. So the very first type that we always do, where we all start from, is what we call descriptive analysis. Descriptive analysis. Now, what is descriptive analysis talking about? Descriptive analysis is basically talking about what has happened in the past, right? You are analyzing the data that has happened in the past, right? So you are bringing out insight from what has happened in the past. And most of the time, that is what you are going to be working with. Because you can't analyze what has not happened, right? You can only predict what will happen, right? So descriptive analysis is basically describing what has happened in the past. What is our total revenue last year, right? Which country is the best-selling country, right? Who is our best customer last year? Which staff is the best staff of the month? You want to know what has happened in the past. Which product is performing very well, right? So you want to know what has happened in the past. That is what we call descriptive analysis. You are only describing what has already happened. Do you understand that? Then after that, we move to what we call predictive analysis. Predictive analysis. Now we have another thing in between data, in between descriptive and predictive. So you have one that we call diagnostic analysis. Diagnostic analysis. Now, if you are talking about descriptive analysis, you know what has happened in the past. That is descriptive analysis, right? You know it's talking about what has happened. But diagnostic analysis is basically looking in depth. Why does this thing happen? Why are we having low sales? Are we selling a seasonal product? Do we need to work on our sales team and all those things? That is what diagnostic analysis is all about. Knowing the reason why that thing happened. That is what we call diagnostic analysis. So you are basically looking inward. So if you are not generating revenue, why are we not generating revenue? Is it that people are not buying our products? Is it that we are not giving out quality service? Is it that this location is not good for our products? That is diagnostic analysis. That is why you see some Coca-Cola products, you see them in Nigeria. If you get to Ghana, you see another one. If you get to Kenya, you see another one. If you get to USA, you see another one. If you get to Canada, you see another one. Right? That's because they've diagnosed the problem. They know. I said descriptive analysis. We are yet to get to prescriptive. We'll still talk about prescriptive. I was talking about descriptive. Now I am on diagnostic analysis. Right? So, like I said, most of these organizations like Coca-Cola, like I said Coca-Cola, you will see some products in Nigeria, but if you get to Ghana, you see another type of Coca-Cola product. If you get to Kenya, you see another type of Coca-Cola product. If you get to Cameroon, you see another type of Coca-Cola product. Right? So that's because they already diagnosed the problem. They have done diagnostic analysis. Descriptive analysis, they know, okay, this product is not performing very well here. Why is it not performing very well? That is what diagnostic analysis is talking about. Why is this our product not performing very well? Why are we having low revenue? Is it that our sales team is not working? Is it that our marketing is not good enough? Is it our distribution? You want to know all those things. That is what we call diagnostic analysis. That is in between descriptive and predictive analysis. So in between descriptive and predictive, you have diagnostic analysis. That's the second one. Now, the third one is predictive analysis. Predictive analysis. Now, predictive analysis is basically predicting the future. What will happen in the future? So you are predicting what will happen in the future. That is predictive analysis. For instance, let's say I used to sell 50,000 pieces of my product per year. Now, if I give it to machine learning algorithm to help me predict, or I can use Excel forecast to predict, right? So basically, predictive analysis depends on descriptive analysis. So if you don't have a data, there's no way you'll be able to predict the future. Because if you are talking about machine learning, machine will have to study what has happened in the past for it to know what to predict for you. Do you understand? So for instance, if you don't know how much I receive every month, you can't easily predict that, okay, this is the total amount you are going to be receiving next month or next year. You understand? So predictive analysis depends more on descriptive analysis. That is using what has happened in the past to predict the future. Do you get it? You are using what has happened in the past to predict the future. Now we have the last one, which we call prescriptive analysis. Prescriptive analysis. Now, prescriptive analysis is talking about the actionable step that will help me to achieve what machine has already predict for me. So, for instance, let's say I used to sell 50,000 products every single year, and machine predicted that by next year, I'm going to sell 100,000 or 70,000. So that doesn't mean I should sit and fold my arm, right? So we have prescriptive analysis, which is talking about what do I need to work on? What are the actionable steps that will help me to achieve what machine has already predicted for me? That is what prescriptive analysis is talking about. So do I need to work on my marketing? Do I need to increase my ad budget? Do I need to do banners? Do I need to do billboard? Right? All those things are what prescriptive analysis is talking about. Now, all this type of data analysis, they have become an integral part of modern decision making. Now, let me tell you, we still have question and answer section. Do you understand? We have question and answer section. After this theory section, we will go into the practical section where we are going to analyze data together. Right? You know, I told you this is what I do every single day. I train people, I work on projects. So I want to show you how easy it is to analyze data, to bring out insights from your data. That is what we are going to do in the practical section. Now, after the practical section, we have the question and answer section. So in that question and answer section, that is when I will be taking your question. So I will allow you to unmute to talk. Do you guys understand this? So I will allow you to unmute to talk. So that's why I said you need a pen and a jotter, so you can jot things down. So if you have any question, just jot it down. When we get to the question and answer section, I will allow you to unmute and ask your question. Do you understand? So just jot it down now. So let me take a water. So like I forgot to say, if you don't have a water, send me a DM. I have a virtual water that I can give. So if you need one, just send me a DM. I'll give you one, right? I'll give you one virtual water. So if you need one, just let me know. Cheers to you guys. Are you not going to tell me cheers? Cheers to my bottled water. So nobody is telling me cheers here. I talk too much. Right? You need more water. All right, send me a DM. You get a virtual water. Right? You get a virtual water. Thank you all. All right, do we all understand the different type of data analysis that we have now? Do we all understand? Do we all understand? All right, so let's move forward now. Let's move forward. Let's talk about what we call data explosion. Data explosion. How does no data you need? Okay, send me a DM. I'll give you a virtual data. I said virtual water, not data. Virtual water. All right. Let's talk about data explosion. Like we all know, data is growing at an unprecedented rate, driven by the connected devices and digital interaction. And all this has made effective data analysis more crucial. Now, let me tell you, based on research, we have over 2 billion data. 2 billion data that are being uploaded on the server every single day. And we are the part of people that are uploading this data. Now, why do I say we are the part of people that are uploading this data? It's because, okay, let me even ask you this. How many of us has been to any social media platform today? Probably Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, any social media platform. Twitter, anyone. How many of us have, don't lie, tell me the truth. So for me, I've been to Facebook today, just Facebook alone. So I don't really use TikTok, I don't use Instagram, I use YouTube. So I've been to Facebook. So we have just one person. Are you saying the truth? You've been to X today. Okay, there are two now. I'm waiting for you. Don't lie. Better tell me the truth now. If you don't tell me the truth, you are going to meet me in your house. Now. I'll pour water on your head. Facebook and YouTube. Now that I said I'm going to come to your house, people are now getting scared. Don't worry. You are going to see me in your house. I'll pour water on your head. Virtual water. Okay, we have just 5 people. What about others? Instagram and X, YouTube, Facebook, right? Now, I've been to the 4 of them today. That is good. I should come. Don't worry, you are going to see me now. Don't worry. So now, I said we are part of the people that are uploading this data. As we are on this Zoom call, we are giving Zoom a data. Yes, Discord, right? As we are on this Zoom call, we are giving Zoom a data. So as we are live like this, we are uploading data. The moment you log into Facebook, they have something they call pixel. Pixel is the one tracking all your activity, that is recording all your activity and sending those data to Facebook. So the moment you log in, they were, okay, oh, Mr. Chukwu has logged into Facebook, so time, right? So you log into Facebook, 2:05, exactly 2:05. Now, so the moment you like something, you like a post, they will send it. The Pixel, which is a machine learning algorithm, will send it to Facebook that, okay, this person, Mr. Chukwu, has like so person's post, right? You comment, you share, they are sending your data. Now, all these data are going to Facebook database, which is on the server, right? You can see that you are uploading, and we have most of some ladies, they will be uploading picture every now and then on Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, WhatsApp status. They are uploading it every now and then. The moment you upload one picture to Facebook or Instagram, you've uploaded the data. So whether you have knowledge about data analysis or you don't have knowledge, just note. Let me tell you today, if you don't know, most of these social media platforms, they have a whole lot of information that you yourself don't even know, right? Because they are tracking all your activities. So now let me tell you, they can track all your activity from Facebook to other people's websites, right? For some of us that use all these streaming platforms, you are going to see some ads on some of them, right? How did they get to know that you are interested in those type of ads? That they track you from your social media to your streaming platform. How did they get to know? How did they get to know all those ones? How did they get to know all those ones? That's because they have your information. That's because they have your information just from Facebook or any social media platform that you are using, right? Now, all these things are what is making the data to grow at an unprecedented rate, right? And not to even talk about companies that are uploading data every now and then on their database. If you go to Amazon, you order something, right? Their data is going to go to the database. You go to YouTube, you post something, the data is going to the database, right? We have over 2 billion data that are uploading the 2 billion data going to the server every single day. And who are the people that work on the data? Can you answer that question? Who are the people that work on those data? Who are the people that work on those data? So if 2 billion data are uploading, they are uploading it to the server every single day. Who are the people that work on those data? Who are the people? Who are the people? Let me know. Answer me, answer me. Analysts, right? It's the work of data analysts. It's the work of data analysts to get those data out of the database, to analyze those data, right? So that is why data is growing at an unprecedented rate. I hope you are learning something. Are you learning something? Are you learning something? Are you learning something? Are you learning something? Yes or no? Let me know if you are learning something. All right. All right. All right. We have two people. Okay, so let's move forward. Let's move forward. The evolving role of an analyst, of a data analyst. What are the role of a data analyst? So, unlocking the power of data is a complex task for those who don't have the knowledge. So if you don't have the knowledge, you will think data analysis is a complex task. And data analysts are the superhero who make it happen, right? You are the one that bring out a lot of information from those raw data, right? You are the one that will clean those raw data. You are the one that will bring out a whole lot of information that will help your organization to make decisions, right? But with technology advancing faster than a speeding bullet, the role of data analysis is also evolving at a lightning speed. Gone are those days of simply collecting and organizing data. I always say this, it's not your job to do data entry. It's not your job to do data entry. Today's data analysts are responsible for designing complex algorithms. Now, you remember that I mentioned something like Pixel. It was developed by a data scientist to track all the activities, right? To track all the activities, right? Designing complex algorithm. So if I say algorithm, it's the same thing as machine learning model. So you can see it as a model, or you can see it as an estimator. So they are still the same thing. So you can either call it algorithm, you can call it model, you can call it an estimator. They are still the same thing. Now, they are just a piece of code that help us to achieve an event, right? So if you want to track, if you want to predict, you write a machine learning model or algorithm. For example, linear regression is an example of machine learning model, right? Support vector machine is an example of machine learning model, right? Decision tree, random forest, right? All those one are example of machine learning algorithm. And also creating captivating visualization, which is what we are going to do today using data. Now, the data analyst future scope is bright and has thrilling opportunity for those who love technology and analytics. Now, the next question that I will ask you is, are data analysts in demand? That is my question for you. Do you think, before I even read my slide, do you think data analysts are in demand? Yes or no? Based on all this, my gibberish, my story and everything, do you think data analysts are in demand? Based on all this, my story, right? I know I'm telling story, I talk a lot, right? That is why I teach, right? I teach every day. So that is you should know, right? Even if you see me now, you know that I'm a teacher. So that is what I teach every day. So talking is already part of me. So if you think I'm talking too much, please let me know. Am I talking too much? Eh? If you think I'm talking too much, please let me know. Let me know. Do you think I'm giving out too much? Right? Do you think my talk is too much? I'm a teacher. So that is me. I train every day. That's what I do every day. Not really. Okay. Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you. All right. So let's talk about are data analysts in demand, right? Are data analysts in demand? Now, based on my slide, data analysts are in high demand in today's job market. And this trend is expected to continue well into the future. It's not stopping anytime soon. According to United States Bureau of Labor Statistics, we call them BLS, employment of data analysts and other related occupations is projected to grow by 33% from 2020 to 2030, which is more faster than the average of all occupations. All occupation. I don't care about what you are into. Data analysis is the top 2 in the whole world right now, right? So the demand for data analysis can be attributed to the increasing importance of data-driven decision-making in businesses and organizations of all sizes. As a result, data analysts are playing an essential role in shaping the strategic direction of businesses across various industries, from healthcare to retail to sales, right? So let's talk about why data analysis is the future of everything before we go into the career part. Then after the career part, we go into the practical. So it is the process of analyzing data that has revolutionized many industries. A whole lot of people does not actually have information about their data, but because they have an analyst, then they have given them a lot of information, right? So, and it has revolutionized many industries and will continue to do so. The days of having to do all your analysis by hand are over, right? They are over now. They are powerful tools that make data analysis much more easier and fast. We have an AI tool. For instance, if you go to Excel, we have something that we call recommended pivot that can help us to actually analyze our data. I'm going to show you that in the practical section, right? If you go to Power BI, we have Q&A that can help you, right? That can help you to analyze your data, right? That can help you to analyze your data, right? Now, and like I always say, you don't need a PhD. I did not study statistics in school. I study economics, right? So you don't need a PhD in statistics anymore. Simply enter some data, pick out what matters the most from those data. Now, if you have a data, what you are looking for in the data is the key information. So if you see me working, you'll see that sometimes I'll delete some columns because they are not important. So as an analyst, you should know that you don't need to work with a whole lot of data. But what matters, right? What matters? Just pick out what matters. So you see some analysts, they will delete some columns, they will remove some data, right? Because it does not really matter, right? It does not really matter. Pick out what matters the most from the data, and you are done with an excellent report, right? With an excellent report that will help organizations to grow sales. All right, don't worry, we'll get to the practical section in a bit. Don't worry. Just calm down. We get to the practical section in a bit. All right, so let's talk about the future of an analyst. Now, the future of data analysis is here and is now, and it's also looking bright. With the help of artificial intelligence, AI, most people think artificial intelligence will take over data analysis, but that is not true because we are using them to work, right? If you study data analysis, I'll advise you go to study data science so that you can learn, you can go further to learn more about artificial intelligence so that you know how they work, right? Artificial intelligence is basically built on machine learning because they study the pattern of the information, right? So you don't know. If you go to Google, Google is an artificial intelligence, just like ChatGPT. They work on machine learning. What people have already searched in the past. So they are learning from it. That is machine learning. And also blockchain. They are all driven innovation that has revolutionized the field of data analysis. Now let's go into the career part for data analysis, for an analyst, before we go into the practical section. Now, one of the things that I always tell my students, after learning data analysis, now the very first thing you should know, the very first thing you should have at the back of your mind is learning data analysis does not mean you have to stop learning. Because every single day, they are upgrading this software that we are using. For instance, Microsoft Excel. We have Microsoft Excel 2003, we have 27, we have 2019, we have 2016, we have 2021. Now we have 2024, we have Office 365. And all these things, there are new formulas inside it. There are new tools inside it. So you must continuously learn, right? So you don't say, okay, because you're an analyst, you want to stop learning. You must continuously learn. So data analysis is not a field that stops at a particular page, right? Let's say, okay, you learn Excel, Power BI, and SQL. Then you say, okay, you're an analyst. Then you now stop there. No, you have to always learn. You have to always learn. Update it every single time because new software are going to come out. New code are going to come out. So you have to continuously learn. So another career path, after learning data analysis, obviously you've become an analyst, right? Then after that, you can learn more, then go into data science, right? So you can become a data scientist. Like I said here, many data scientists start out as an analyst, right? So you can learn data science. You can also go into what we call project management because they are all related fields. You can also go into business analysis. Don't mind, you can go into database engineer, right? That is database engineering. You can become a database manager, right? You can become a machine learning expert, right? You can become a financial analyst, whereby after learning data analysis, maybe you study finance in school. The aspect you want to focus on is just finance. So you can become a financial analyst. But that doesn't mean you are going to stop learning. You need to keep on learning every single time because that is what is going to make you stand out. Like I always say, I'm the best in my field, right? I'm the best in my field. That's not because I know everything, but at least every single day, I make sure that I learn one single thing. Just try as much as possible to learn one thing every day, even if it is just one formula, even if it is just one SQL code or one Python code. You don't have to spend 2 hours learning. Some days I'll spend only 30 minutes, right? Some days it's only 20 minutes. Some days I'll just learn just one thing, right? Just make sure that you learn one single thing every day. Before you know, sorry for that, I'm back. So let's continue. Let's continue from where we stopped. Another field that you can consider is becoming a data analyst consultant, right? So you can become a data analyst consultant or a marketing analyst or a sales analyst. There are a whole lot of fields that you can explore just by learning data analysis, right? So that is that on the theory aspect. So were you able to learn something in this theory aspect? Do you enjoy yourself in this theory aspect? Do you learn something in this theory aspect before we go into the practical? Do you learn something in this theory aspect before we go into the practical section? All right. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. One thing that you should know is try to learn more, learn more, learn more. Do you understand? Learn more. All right. All right. Thank you. All right. So now what I want to do now is to show you how I work as an analyst to analyze data, right? Okay, sorry. So I'm going into the practical section now. So if you don't have any knowledge about it, just watch me. I just want to show you that at the end of the webinar, I'm going to tell you how to get the replay so that you can also go through the replay and practice it. I'm going to tell you how to get the replay, the slide, the data set that I will use. Everything I'm going to tell you at the end of the webinar so that you can also go through the replay, practice it. You can also send it to me to review it and give you more information on what to do next. Do you understand? So I'm going to tell you all those information at the end. So now, let's go into the practical section. So let's just analyze one of these data. Let's analyze one data. Now, like you can see, here we have a data that talks about different countries. It's not just one country. The date of order, that is the day name, the month name, we use Excel formula, right? The product that they have, the unit sold, the revenue, the cost, and the profits, right? The revenue, the cost, and the profits right now. We have all those information right here. For those of us that are new, this is an Excel spreadsheet, and I'm still going to explain it in a bit. But before I actually start with the explanation, we have what we call a dashboard template. Now, let me show you an example of what we want to create. So if you come here to data analysis, dashboard. So this is an example of what we want to create. This is an example of what we want to create. So whenever yes, I want to create visualization. I want to visualize data. So this is an example of what they are talking about. Can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me? Can you all hear me? Can you all hear me? Let me know if you can hear me. Let me know. All right. So whenever you hear something like, I want to visualize this data, I want to create a visual, I want to create a visual. This is an example. Oh, sorry, don't worry. So this is an example. Just jot down your question. When we get to the question and answer section, I'm going to attend to you. So this is an example of what they call data visualization. And what is data visualization? Data visualization is a graphical representation of your data. So, of your raw data. So you have your raw data. How do you represent it? In a chart like this, right? That now, you know, it's not everybody that will understand if you have your data on Excel, just like this. If you have a raw data on Excel, just like this, it's not everybody. So for instance, if I ask you, which product generate the highest revenue? Or for instance, what is the total revenue? What is the total cost? What is the total cost for each month? Right? Which month is performing very well? You can't get all those information from here. Even if you put it in a table and you represent it, you have the month and the total revenue. Some people will still get to interact with it very well if you put it in a visual. So some people will be able to see the trend. So that is why we represent our data with visuals. And if you want to represent your data with visual, you must have what we call a dashboard template, something like this. You must have a template. Now, how do we create these templates? So I'm going to show you how to create this template now. So here, this is an Excel spreadsheet for those of us that are new. This is an Excel spreadsheet. And if you click on this plus that you have here, right? If you click on this plus, you will see you have something that looks like this. So if you just open a new sheet, this is how it's going to look. If you don't have any work on Excel, this is how it's going to look. Now, we call this thing the spreadsheet. We call it spreadsheet. So we call it Excel spreadsheet, or you can also call it worksheet. Now, in a spreadsheet, you have the columns, whereby the alphabetical letter are usually assigned to the columns, and you also have the rows, right? So we have column A, column B, column C, column D, column E, till that. You have over 16,000 columns, and you have row 1, row 2, row 3. You have over 1 million rows in Excel. So if I go down, you have 1,048,576 rows in just one spreadsheet. Now, in a situation whereby you have over 1 million rows, let's say you have about 1.5 million data sets to deal with. Now, you see that Excel cannot deal with it because Excel spreadsheet ends here. One spreadsheet ends here, right? You can see this is the end, 1,048,576. That is where a row ends for a spreadsheet. Now, if you finish this, you can open a new spreadsheet and have another 1 million row. But if you have a data that is just 1.5 million, Excel cannot take it. So that is when you see, when I said examine your data, you need to know the software. So if you are dealing with a data that have over 1 million rows, right? They have about 5 million, 10 million rows, right? Excel cannot do that. So we make use of a new, like a big software like Python to deal with it, right? So Excel cannot deal with that. All those ones are what you are going to learn in the examination process while you are examining your data. Do you understand? So now that we know that we have 1,048,576 rows, now we have over 16,000 columns. So here now, someone said my network is breaking. Is that correct? Is my network breaking? Can you guys hear me clearly? Can you guys hear me clearly? All right. Madam Feyishola, please check your network. Okay. Now let's move forward. You can see a column ends here in XFD. And if you have to check it very well, it's over 16,000 columns. Now, let's go back. Now, in Excel, we have what we call the tabs. If you look up here, we have the default tab, right? We have the default tab. So all these things that you see here, the home, the insert, right? The page layout, the formula, the data, the review, they are all the default tabs. They are all tabs that we have here. And each tab has their own ribbon. They have their own ribbon. Now, each ribbon is grouped into a section. That's why you have clipboard section, font section, alignment section, number section, style section, right? So you have all those ones. Now, if I go to the insert tab too, you have different ribbon under insert, right? If you go to page layout, you have different ribbon. If you go to formulas, you have different ribbon. If you go to the data tab, you have different ribbon. So each tab have their own ribbons that we work with. And each ribbon is grouped into a section, right? They are grouped into a section. Now, here, we have something that we call name box, in which I'm going to get back to in a bit. I'm going to get back to this name box in a bit. And if you check here, we have a formula bar. We call this place formula bar. For instance, if I want to get today's date, I can just use one formula, equals to today. Equals to today. Open and close brackets. And this will give me today's date. Now, if you look at it, in this place, we call this place a cell. This place where you see this date is called a cell. You are going to see the result of your formula in the cell. But the formula that you use, you are going to see it in this place that you call formula bar. Do you understand? So this place is called the formula bar. That is where your formulas are displayed. So if you want to get today's date and time, you can say equals to now. That is another formula, right? Close your bracket and press enter. So you have the date and the time, right? It will be displayed in this place called a cell, right? But in your formula bar, you have the formulas right here in the formula bar. So that's the function of the formula bar. So note, whenever you write any formula, you see it in your formula bar. And mind you, whenever you want to write any formula in Excel, you must start with equals to. So if I want to multiply two numbers now, I'll say equals to 2 times 6, right? So now you see it here, 2 times 6 is 12. But note, you have to start with equals to first. 2 times 6 will give you 12, right? And if you look at it here, you will see the calculation in the formula bar. Do you understand? So that is the formula bar. Now I said we have a cell. A cell is the intersection of the row and column. So that is where both row and column meet. So we have column A, row 1, and they both meet here, right? They both meet right here. So we call this column cell A1 because I'm in column A, row 1. So we call it cell A1. Now back to this name box. You can see the cell name here. We call it the cell reference. You can see it right here. Now if I'm to come down here, this is cell B3. I'm in column B, row 3. And if you check the formula, the name box, you can see the name of the cell. That is the reference of the cell. So here, which cell am I now? Which cell is this? Anybody that gets it, I'll give you a virtual water. You'll be the first person that will win my virtual water. So which cell am I now? Who can guess? Alan is the very first person. So Alan, send me a DM. I'm going to send you my virtual water. Cell D8, right? D8, like you can see in the formula bar. Now, let's create our first dashboard template. Now, a dashboard template is made up of shapes. It's made up of shapes. But before you start using shapes, you need to clean your environment. Now, if you look at this, I don't have what we call the grid line, right? So if I move to this sheet 1 again, you can see I have this line that you see right here. So these lines they are called the grid line. They are called the grid lines. So you can see I don't have those grid lines in this dashboard here. And remember, you can still rename your sheet. So if I right click on it, I can just say rename. So let me take that again. If you right click, you can see sheet 1. I can right click, you see rename, and then I'll call this one practical. So I'll just call it practical. So for you to know the sheet that you are working on, so it's better you rename it, right? You rename it. Now, you can see on my dashboard sheet, I did not have those grid lines. I did not have ABC, which are the column, and I did not have the rows. So how do we do that? So let's go back to practical. So to do that, you notice that I am on Home tab. So you have to move from your Home tab to the View tab. To the View tab, right? So if you move to the View tab, here under this group, that's under this section, which we call Show, right? You can see the Show section right here. So you can see we have the grid line, we have the formula bar, and we have the headings. Forget about this focus cell. We will talk about focus cell next time, not today. So we have the grid line, the formula bar, and the headings. So I want to turn off this grid line. And if you look at this grid line, there is a box beside it. You can see that it's checked, right? You have a check mark there. So I will just uncheck it. So just click on it once. You can see the grid lines are gone. So if you click on it again, they are back. If you uncheck it, they are gone. Right? Now, this ABC and 1, 2, 3 that you see here, they are called the headings. The headings. So you don't need the headings. So just come here, uncheck the headings. Now you can see I have the same thing with this, right? Now we have some analysts that don't like their formula bar to show. But for me, if I'm working on any data, I used to write formulas. So I don't turn off my own formula bar. But if you want your own formula bar to be turned off, you can actually uncheck it. So you can see the formula bar and the name box are gone, right? But I love my own to be active. So you can leave it. If you can turn it off, you can turn it on. Now, you can see we have the same background now. So let's pick our first shape that you see here, the blue one in the background, which is a blue rectangle, right? So how do you get your shape? If you go to the insert Are you guys learning something? Are you learning? Are you learning something? Yes or no? Are you learning something? So all these things are what you have to do before you even start analyzing data. You understand? So all these things are what you have to do before you start analyzing data. So I'm going to give you an assignment though. How many of you will do my assignment? I know because this is our first time. You'll be like, who is this person? Why will you be giving me assignment on our first class? I'm going to give you an assignment though. If you did not do my assignment, I will flog you. I'll come to your house, we will fight. Is it that you remove my teeth? I will remove your teeth. One person we shall remove each other's teeth. So if I remove your teeth, congratulations. If you remove my teeth, well, that's my own. I'll go and be sorting it. I'll go and be sorting it. So you better be ready to do my assignment. If you don't want us, is it that you remove 2 of my teeth? Now we remove 5. Okay, so let's continue. All right, let's continue. So the very first thing is to get our shape. How do you get our shape? You want beat copper? Forget. How many stroke of cane? Don't worry. It depends on where you stop in your class. You like my seats? Okay, thank you very much. So where do we get our shape? If you go to the Insert tab, right here, Insert tab, right? So you will see that we have shape under illustration. So for you, if you are using the lower version of Excel, for me, I'm using the latest version of Excel, which is Excel 365. So if you are using the lower version of Excel and you don't have it listed here, so you will see illustration, right? So if you click on illustration, you will see shapes. So just make sure that you are on the Insert tab and you will see it right here, right? So just click on shape, and the very first thing that I want to pick is my rectangular shape. So I'll just pick rectangular and look at something. If you remember, look at all these tabs. I told you that they are the default tab. And if you look, the last tab that I have here is what we call the help, right? The help tab. Now notice something. The moment I draw that shape, the moment I draw the shape, you will see something that will come up. So if I draw the shape like this now, so just pick the rectangle, left click and drag. So this will help you to draw the shape. So you can make it bigger. This depends on your visualization. It's just like a plan, a house plan. You understand? So if you want to build a house, you need to give it to an architect, right, to help you design the plan for the house. So if you want to build a visualization, you have to design a dashboard template. So you want to know how many charts do I want to use? How many KPIs do I want to use? You understand? So you have to design it first before you start analyzing your data. So now, if you look at this, let me make it a bit bigger. Let's drag it down. All right. Now, if you look at this now, if you notice here, the last one was help, but now you have what we call shape format. So this shape format is what we call contextual tab. We call it contextual tab. They are the tabs that come out whenever we choose a special ribbon. So we call it contextual tab. Do you understand? They are the tabs that come out whenever we choose a special ribbon, like table, shapes, pictures, right? Pivot table, chart. You always see a contextual tab. Icons, whenever you choose all these special ribbons, you see a contextual tab. Now you should know that it's not all ribbons that have their own tab, right? It's not all ribbons that have their own tab, but you have some ribbons that they have their own contextual tab. So I'll just click on the shape format. Now, if you look at this shape format, you will see we already have more shapes here. So the moment I'm on shape format, I don't need to go to insert again to pick my shape. So right here in the shape format, I can pick my shape from here. Now, if you come here, we have the shape view, which is talking about the color inside the shape. So if you don't want to use this blue, you can come here to the shape view and change the color to whatever color you like, right? And if you are someone like me that don't know much about color, right? So you can use the company's color. So every companies will have their own brand color. So you can use their color. So, but for me, I will go with this blue. But if you like, you can play around with it. Just play around with this. You can play around with different colors. Now, after that, you have shape outline, which is talking about the line outside the shape. Can you see it? You have this black line, tiny black line that you see. Let me zoom it in so that you see it very well. Do you notice this black line? How many of us can see it? Can you see this black line? This line here. Can you all see it? This black line. Are you here with me? My people, yes. Okay, nice one. So this black line that you see here is what we call an outline. So we call it shape outline. So you can decide to choose another color for that shape outline too, right? You can choose another color. So if you come to your shape format, you see shape outline. So you can choose another color for your outline right here. You can choose another color. And you have shape effect. So under the shape effect, you have the preset, you have the shadow, you have the reflection, you have the glow, you have the soft edge, you have the bevel, you have the 3D rotation. They are effects that you can use just to beautify your work. Because if you want to create a visualization, it must be able to captivate attention of your stakeholders. You understand? So you have to beautify it. Now, after that, we have this rectangle that where we have our logo. So let's draw another rectangle. Because I'm on shape format, I have my shape inside here. So I can click on this rectangle, just draw the rectangle right here, which will contain our logo. And as you can see, it is filled with blue color. So and I don't want that. So I'll come here to shape fill, then change it to white, shape outline, and say no outline right here. Now, if you look at this, the effect, I have an effect for this. So here, I'll just go to shape effect, and I'm going to use bevel for it. So I'm going to use this effect for it. So you can play around with all these effects too. What is the function of soft edge? What is the function of glow? What is the function of reflection, right? Function of shadow. You can play around with it. So, but I'll just go with this effect, right? I'll make it a bit bigger, then drag it here, take it back up. So after that, we have another one where we have our title, right? Our dashboard title. So I'll just come here. I can just duplicate this rectangle, Control D to duplicate. So we use Control D, D for dog, Control D to duplicate. So I'll just Control D to duplicate, bring it right here. I'll bring it right beside it here, then reduce it and drag it to the left, right? So our title will be inside here. Our title will be inside here. So this is the sales report for 2020 to 2030. This is Amazon sales report, so sales report, right? So you put your title inside here. Every dashboard must have a title. You understand? So after that, we have what we call our KPIs. Which are these small rectangles that are here. So I can come here. So I can just duplicate this, Control D to duplicate. Then I can reduce it and put it right here. So I can still reduce it so that it fits in very well. Control D to duplicate. D for dog to duplicate. Control D to duplicate. So I'll bring it down a bit. So I can duplicate this one. Control D to duplicate it. Control D to duplicate. Then I'll put it right here, right? So let me give it a breathing space to make sure that it doesn't really, it's not clustered, right? Let me just reduce this a bit. Okay, then after that, I can duplicate this, Control D to duplicate. Now you can play around with different shapes, right? If you are working on your dashboard, you can play around with different shapes. Do you understand? It does not necessarily have to be rectangle. You can use different shapes, right? So just keep on duplicating it, right? Put it down here, right? I can duplicate this one, then bring it down right here. Now, as you can see, I have this, right? So the next one is I can duplicate this one to make it a bigger rectangle where my chart is going to be, right? So this is the very first place where my chart is going to be, right? So my chart will be inside here. So my chart will be inside here. So I will do the Control D to duplicate again. So let me click on it, Control D to duplicate, put it right beside here. So put it right beside here, make it a bit bigger. So now I believe with this, you should be able to create a masterpiece with this, right? you should be able to create something that looks more amazing than this. Now, after you are done with your own dashboard template, the next thing is to start analyzing your data. If you remember, I asked a question that other time. Let's get the month with the highest revenue. So we want to see the revenue for each month. And we have the month name listed here with duplicates. So how do we get that? How do we get those information? The very first thing is to put it in a table. So how do we now put it in a table? If you go to insert, you have table right here. Now, what is the function of a table? Table is used to show relationship between your data. So you are basically telling Excel that, okay, all these data are related. All these data are related. And if you don't want to use this one, this ribbon that I have here, you can see we have Control T for table, right? Control T, which we use for table. So I can do Control T for table to put my data in a table. Just click anywhere within your data and press Control T. That will put it in a table. It's going to give you this pop-up. All you have to do is click on OK. Now, how do you know that your data is in a table? You have what we call table design. You have table design. That is another contextual tab. If you remember, when we did shape, we have shape format, right? Now we put our data in a table, we have table design. That is a contextual tab, right? That is what we call contextual tab. So after that, we are going to use pivot table. So all I have to do is, once you click on this table design, just come to summarize the pivots. So I'll click on summarize the pivots. I'll just click on OK. Now, this is the almighty pivot table. The almighty pivot table that they always talk about. And if you look at this now, we have two contextual tabs for this big man, right? We have pivot table analyze, we have design, which is going to talk about the design that I want to use for my pivot table. And this is going to talk about the analysis aspects. Now, if you remember, I said earlier that we have a tool in pivot table that helps us to analyze data. The moment you get to this point, that is, you've loaded your data into pivot table, all you just have to do is, the moment you click on this recommended pivot, now it's going to analyze. Now you can see it's giving us the sales, the profits by each country. So all you just have to do is click on this recommended pivot table, right? You see, it's giving us profits for each country without me doing anything, right? This is giving us revenue for each country, right? Profits for each day of the week, right? Total profit for each day. You can see the profit for Sunday, profit for Monday, without you doing anything. All you just have to do now, don't worry, we are still going to create more pivot table. Once you get to this point, all you just have to do is, the moment you click on recommended pivot table, just see the one that works out well for you, that you want the information. All you just have to do is click on OK. But I know a lot of you love Expo, right? So I won't use the shortcuts. I'm not going to use recommended pivot. We are going to do it manually. Now, we want to get the month and the revenue. So you can see right here on this pivot table field, you can see we have the month name, right? I'll just click on it, drag and drop it in the row. Now, this will list out all the month name for me. Now, before I get the answer, which months do you think have the highest revenue? I want you to guess. Which month do you think have the highest revenue? I want you to take a guess. The pivot table is already in Excel. You don't have to install it. So which month do you think generated the highest revenue? Take a guess. You might win my virtual water. Take a guess. Right, I want you to guess before I get the answer. Just guess. Which month do you think we have the highest revenue? Let's talk. Just take a guess. Is it January, February? Someone said December. Someone said June. September, April, January, right? Okay, nice one. So let's get the answer now, right? July. Okay. So now, let's pick. So I want to see the person that will win. So are you done? October, December. All right. So you can stop now. Here now, pick the revenue, drag and drop it in the value, right? Now you can see here it has given me the total revenue for each month. So all I have to do is right-click on any of the revenue here. Just right-click, then you have sort from largest to the smallest. Sort from largest, you have sort here. So just over on it, you have sort largest to smallest. Just click on it. Now, we have October coming out first. October is the month with the highest revenue, followed by December, followed by June. Who are the winners? How many people went for October? I can still see Cayman here. How many people went for October? How many people? Who are the winners? Who are the winners? Who are the winners? Don't worry, don't worry. I'm going to take it again. Who are the winners? Who are the winners here? Let me see how many of us went for October. I went for October, right? I went for October, right? Who are the winners? Who are the winners here? Let me see now. Is there nobody? Is there nobody? I know Cayman, right? Don't worry. Yes, I'll take it again. I'll take it again. Don't worry. So we are going to do another one. Don't worry. Okay, I will even ask you. So after October, we have December, right? So now, Mr. Adeni, no, you not went for October. So after that, I'll just come to pivot analyze. Then I'll go for pivot chart because we want to visualize our data, right? So just click on pivot chart and I'll just go with different chart, this chart given to me by Excel. I'll just go with this chart, right? So I'll just click on OK. And now Excel will give me the chart and the sales based on each month. You can see, you can easily explain this than just having it in a pivot table. That is the reason why we use visualization, right? And if you go to design, if you click on design, you can see you can use different style. So let's say I'm going for this black. Now, how do we get it to be on our dashboard, right? How do I get the chart? So if you click on your pivot table, all you just have to do is come to pivot table analyze and you will see pivot chart here. So once you click on pivot chart, it's going to give you a chart. Just click on OK. Now, here I have my chart and I went to design, then chose this column. So how do we get this chart on my dashboard? So all I have to do is cut it out. Control X to cut, or I'll just right click and click on cut. And it's going to cut out my chart. Then I'll go to my dashboard and paste it right here. Control V to paste, or you just right click and you click on paste. And here we have our first chart on our dashboard. Our first chart on our dashboard right here. So how many of us want us to do one more? Do you think we should do one more or go to the question and answer section? Do you think you should do one more or go to the question and answer section? Do you think we should do one more or go to the question and answer section? If you want one more, say one more. If not, we should go to the question and answer section. One more. All right, so let's do one more before we go into the question and answer section. Let's do one more. Now, if I go to this chart, right? So let's say I want to know the product with the highest profit. So we want to know the product with the highest profit. Now we are back on our table, right? Which is this data, right? So we are back on our table. So I'll just click on, for those of you that were asking how I did, how I got to pivot table. So just click on table design, right? Table design, summarize the pivot table. Click on summarize the pivot table. You see right here, the moment you put your data in a table, you see table design. So once you're on table design, click on summarize the pivot table. Now, because if you don't have a sheet, you can tell it to use a new sheet. Now, because I already have an existing sheet, I'll just click on existing worksheet, right? Then come here to where I have my pivot table, then click on the location where I want it to be. So I just click on OK. This will give me another pivot table. And I can just come here. I want to see the product. So I'll just drag the product and drop it right here. And I want to see the profit for each of these products. So I'll drag the profit and drop it right here. And this, if I sort it from largest to the smallest, so here now, I know that chocolate chips has the highest, followed by white chocolate, followed by oatmeal. And I notice that, okay, fortune cookie is not performing very well right here based on this analysis, right? So what I have to do now is to go to pivot charts, and let's say I want to use pie chart. So you can choose different type of chart right here. If you want to use line chart, if you want to use pie chart, even if you want to use donut chart, just click on it. If you want to use 3D pie chart, right? So all I just have to do is click on OK, and here I have my chart. So all I just have to do is cut this chart and go to my dashboard, Control X to cut, go to my dashboard and paste it right here. Now I know at this stage, a lot of people are going to be feeling like this man, like, wow, Akeem, I've learned a lot. Let me blow off my head a bit. How many of you are feeling like this man? Before we go into question and answer section, how many of you are feeling like this man now? If you are feeling like this man, let me know. Like, wow, I've learned a lot. I need to blow off my head. How many of you are feeling like this man? Let me know, let me know, let me know. Sounds said very funny. All right. Now, let me let me ask you a question. How many of you would like to become a pro at this, right? How many of you would like to become a pro? How many of you want to challenge me here? How many of you would like to become a pro at this? You know you want to challenge me, right? Now, let me tell you. So I want to be a pro. I would love to be a pro. I would love to. So let me tell you, you want to challenge me. All right. Let me tell you, learning data analysis is not something that we can do in one day. It's not something that we can do in one class. We can't finish everything in one class. The purpose of this webinar is to show you what is achievable, right? What you can achieve with it, how easy it is, because out there, a whole lot of people are thinking that, okay, data analysis is something that is very hard. But my major goal here is to show you that data analysis is very, very simple. All you just have to do is have someone that can teach you, that you can learn from, right? That you can also model for you to be able to develop. Because if you want to learn it on your own, it's going to take a whole lot of time. If you don't have a study plan, it's going to take a whole lot of your time for you to learn it. And don't forget, I said, to become an analyst is something you have to keep on learning every single day. As I am now, I am still learning it every day because new things are coming out. So it's not something you can learn in one day, but this is just for you to give you a basic understanding, because today's class, we are unable to cover almost a whole lot. We did not even cover anything because we did not even talk much about formulas. We did not talk about different charts, right? So there are different charts for each chart, for each analysis. You can't use all charts for all analysis. There are different charts, right? So now that is why I come up with what we call data analysis masterclass. If and if, they are even simple formula, right? So that is how I come up with what we call data analysis masterclass. Now, in this masterclass, this is a 12 weeks masterclass where we are going to be taking data analysis from the beginning to the end. And also, you will be learning how to create a Fiverr account so that you too can start getting projects. Even while you are learning, you can get projects on data entry, right? Learning how to use Excel to enter data, how to use basic formula before you even become advanced. So you are going to, first of all, learn all these things, be able to market your skill before you even start learning the course itself. So that while you are on the course, you can start getting your projects, right? You are going to learn a whole lot in this 12 weeks masterclass, which will come up every Friday and Saturday. And it's starting this Saturday, this particular Saturday that we are, this Saturday, which is on the 8th, right? On the 8th of March. That is when we are starting, this Saturday. Now, what are you going to learn in this 12 weeks masterclass? We are going to start from total introduction to Microsoft Excel. Even if you don't have any knowledge on Microsoft Excel, we are going to start from there. Introduction to Microsoft Excel, right? You are going to learn over 50 Microsoft Excel formulas. Over 50 Microsoft Excel formulas. You are going to learn it, right? You are going to learn Microsoft Excel table and pivot table in these 12 weeks. Now, we are also going to learn effective use of charts. Now, it's not all the charts that you can use for your analysis. So if you want to show trend, right, in your data, you can't use a pie chart to show trend. So you need to know the type of chart to use for each analysis, right? The type of chart to use for each analysis. So we are going to be talking about different charts one by one. Map, right? Column chart, bar chart, line chart, waterfall, funnel chart, different type of charts. Tree map. We are going to be talking about different type of charts and when to use it and how to use it. We are also going to talk about slicer and timeline to make your dashboard more interactive. We are also going to be talking about data manipulation, how you can manipulate data with Microsoft Excel. And you're also going to learn data cleaning with Power Query, how to use Power Query to clean your data. You are going to learn M language with Power Query. You're also going to learn data modeling with Power BI, how to use data modeling with Power BI. So you are not just learning Microsoft Excel, you are learning Power Query, you're also learning Power BI. You are learning DAX, right? How to write your data analysis expression. You are going to learn data visualization, how to create visualization with both Excel and Power BI. How to create visualization. You are going to learn database creation with SQL. How do you create a database? How do you interact with database? How do you query a database with MySQL? And we are going to be making use of SQL Workbench, right? MySQL Workbench. That's what we are going to be making use of in this 12 weeks class. We are also going to learn database query, and you're also going to get all my recorded classes on Python Essential, right? I take data science class most of the time. So all my recorded classes on Python Essential, you are going to get access to it. And also you are going to learn how to create a portfolio, because as an analyst, you need to have a portfolio where you are storing your projects. So actually, that is actually where we are going to start from. You are going to start from creating a portfolio. How can you create a portfolio? Why should you create a portfolio? Which type of portfolio should you create? You are going to start from there, right? You're also going to learn freelancing. You remember I said I had one of the students that joined our batch last month and create a Fiverr account, right? He created a Fiverr account and he has gotten 3 different projects. He's from Kenya. He's not even in Nigeria, right? He has gotten 3 different projects on data entry just by joining us from last month to this month. So you have to start from all those places too. So you are going to learn Fiverr, how to create a Fiverr account, Upwork account, how to optimize your LinkedIn too, to get projects. How can you optimize your LinkedIn, right? How do you optimize your LinkedIn? What should you write in the about section, right? Which type of skill should be on your LinkedIn profile? If you see someone LinkedIn, you won't even want to employ that person because it does not give you a related field, right? How to create a LinkedIn account. All these are what you are going to start with first, right? So, yes, you are going to create a portfolio. Then after that, how to optimize your LinkedIn account. Don't worry, maybe on Saturday, he will be in class on Saturday. He might not be able to attend, but don't worry, there will be a day where I will bring him to the class for him to talk to you about how he has gotten the project. 3 different projects. Maybe in class on Saturday, I will show you our chat for you to see. He has gotten projects, and he even sent me some of the projects to do for him. And he paid me, right? So, all right. So all these things are what you are going to learn in this 12 weeks masterclass. It's 12 weeks masterclass, live class, every Friday and Saturday. Every Friday and Saturday is a live class. Now, what are the things you are going to get? Microsoft Excel from basic to advanced, data cleaning using Power Query, data modeling, Power BI, DAX, and you also have, apart from this 12 weeks live class, you also have access to Digital World LMS, where all this video has been recorded. So if you can't attend the class, even if you miss a class, you have a replay of that particular class that you can go through, right? And you also have a study material that you can study ahead of the class, right, on the LMS. So you have your own login detail, your own student login detail for your own LMS, your own personalized login detail, right? And I'm not the only, you are going to be getting weekly data analysis tips. So we record video every single week on data analysis, right? Digital World LMS, you are going to be using Digital World LMS, right? I'm going to show you. So you are going to be in class with other experts. So I'm not the only one that's going to teach you. You are going to meet Mr. Ayo first. You are going to meet Mr. Jide. You are going to meet Mr. AK. You are going to meet Mr. David, Mr. Jibola. You are going to meet Miss Victoria. You are going to meet Miss Zainab. Because we want you to have different experience from a lot of lecturers. And you're also going to meet me. Now, at the end of this class, you are going to get certification. You are going to get certification at the end of this class. And we have some company that always requires for job, people, for us to send them students to work, right? So if you are closer to their location, we can send you, if you notice that you are good, we can send you to do a job there. So you are going to get certification at the end, or we have some organization that request for internship. So we can send you there to do internship. So that's if you are so good. Now, let me tell you, this class is very, very practical. It's a practical class. And if you are going to get a lot of assignments, you are going to get a whole lot of projects. So if you are lazy, don't bother to join this class, because you are going to be getting practical, right? A lot of assignments, classwork. You are going to get assignments. You are going to get projects. So if you are lazy, if you know you want to achieve something with this within 12 weeks, you can join this class. But if you know you are lazy, right, don't bother to join the class. Even if you miss a class, you will get the replay of that particular class. So you can always go through the replay, and you have direct access to all Digital World lecturers, including me. And you can send them a DM, you can give them a call. Also, you can also send me a DM directly, and give me a call too if you have any question. And we have a Digital World arm whereby we get projects and give it to our students. So we call it Digital World Swift. Digital World Swift. So that is our service department, whereby we get different projects on web design, data analysis, data science, and we give it out. We are sources to our students, and we pay them. So you can get the opportunity to work with us, right, at Digital World Swift, right? So now, how much am I going to charge you for this 12 weeks live class? How much? Before I show you the elements. So for this 12 weeks live class, it's just 15,000 naira. If you're in Nigeria, it's just 15,000 naira. And if you're in Ghana, it's just 150 Ghana cedis. So if you're in Cameroon, it's just 5,000 CFA. And if you're in Kenya, it's just 2,000 Kenya shillings for 12 weeks, every Friday and Saturday, 8:30 to 10 p.m. Nigerian and Cameroonian time. If you're in Ghana, it's 7:30 to 9 p.m. every Friday and Saturday. If you're in Kenya, for now, it's 10:30 to 12 every Friday and Saturday. And this class is not for everybody. It's just for the very first 30 people. Just for the very first 30 people. Now, these 30 people that will make payment tonight, right, they will also get access to all my recorded video on Python Essential, right? They also get access to monetization of skill, how you can monetize your skill, which we call celebration, right? You also get access to my full Microsoft Word course and full PowerPoint course, just for 15,000 naira. Now, let me show you the elements. Now, the moment you make your payment, you drop your payment proof in the group. Now, once you drop your payment proof in the group, you will get a registration form. So you will get a registration form. You fill the registration form. Make sure that you put the correct email there, because that is the email you'll use to get your receipt, right? That is the email you use to get your receipt. So you are going to get something that looks like this. And once you get it, so all you just have to do is click on Study Data Analysis. So you just click on Study Data Analysis right from your email. Now, if you don't want to click on that, you can go to digitalworldtech.academy, digitalworldtech.academy. So digitalworldtech.academy. Then you get to our website. All you have to do is click on student login. Click on student login, which will still bring you to the same page. It will still bring you to the same page. And if you look at it, it's still the same page, right? So once you click on student login, your login details are going to be part of your receipt. So your email and the password you are going to use. So they are going to be part of your receipt right here. You can see it right here. So this is what you are going to get. Receipts for data analysis, right? So now, if you scroll down, you will see account details right here. Your email and your password. Just make sure that you use the correct mail. So after that, so you are going to use that email and password to log in. So all you just have to do is click on login. So you just click on login. Now you also get opportunity to create a portfolio on Digital World website and have your own portfolio. So if I go to Digital World website now, you have student portfolios. Student portfolio for you to see the students that you can see Abidemi Abolaji's project, right, on digital marketing, Jimo Ahmed Babajide's project on data analysis. You are going to see them. So if you are done with your project, you can also upload it to Digital World Elements so that the world can also see your project. And your image is going to be there. You can see he uses WordPress. Mr. Jide used Power BI, right? So your own project too, because once you have it, so you can create it. You see create portfolio here, which we show on our website, whereby other people can also see your project. And even on your own LinkedIn, you can put a link that will direct them to this our website for them to see the project that you worked on. Now, but that is not where we are going. You can see for me, I have 3 courses, but for you, you are going to have 1 because you are paying for data analysis. So just click on my courses. So for me, you can say I have video editing course, I have digital marketing course, and I have data analysis course. Right here, I have data analysis course. So all I just have to do is click on study. Click on study. I just click on study, and you can see this will bring me right here. So you see, you can play.
So welcome to the data analytics masterclass.
You can see, you can study from Excel, right? It's going to load up, then you can play it. So
every other feature.
So you can see this introduction to window, right? This is introduction window. So you can start going through, you can study ahead before the class. You see a whole lot of videos right here, right? Excel, after you are done with Excel, you can go into Power BI, right? To study ahead before the class, you can go into SQL. Now you have the bonuses that you are going to start with first. You have the bonuses right here. You see how to create a portfolio, how to upload a project on portfolio, how to create a resume, right? You see there, LinkedIn optimization, right? Freelancing. Then now, for those of you that are going to make payment tonight, you will get this one as part of your LMS. Introduction to data science, introduction to Python variable, right? You are going to get access to this. You are going to get access to this, and you can watch them at your own convenience, and it is yours forever. You can go through it at your own leisure time. You can use it to study ahead of the class. You can use it to study ahead of the class. You understand? So that is that on that one. So this is just first 30 people. Now I know a lot of you did not plan that you are going to make payment for this class, right? So if you are in Nigeria, you can pay into Digital World Tech Academy Money Points. The account number has also been dropped in the group. If you are in Ghana, you can pay into Vodacash. So if you are in Kenya, you can pay into M-Pesa. It's just 2,000 Kenya shillings. And if you are in Cameroon, you can pay into MTN Momo. Now, because most of you did not plan that you are going to pay for this class, now for you to be part of this very first 30 people that will join this master class that will start on Saturday, right? That will start this Saturday, which is on the 8th of March 2025, right? You can pay just 50% tonight and balance up next month. So for those of you that did not plan, so let's say you don't have the full payment, so you can pay 50% and balance up next month. You can pay 50% and balance up next month. All right, so let me start taking questions. If you have a question, how much is for Kenya? It's just 2,000 Kenyan shillings. So you can raise your hand so that I will allow you to unmute. So let me start taking your question. Let me take your question. If you have a question, let me take your question. If you have a question, let me take your question. If you have any question, time schedule. The time schedule is 7:30 p.m. for Ghanaian. If it is Kenya, is 10:30. If you are in Nigeria and Cameroon, is 8:30. Yes, you are going to get certificate. Certificate is free. You are not paying anything. Now, the only thing that will qualify you for the certificate is the project. You are going to get 3 different projects. On Excel, you are going to get the project. On Power BI, you are going to get the project. And on SQL, you are going to get a project. So you can make your payment and drop it in the group. You can pay 50% and balance up next month. All right, Mr. Abayomi is raising hand. Please unmute. You can unmute, Mr. Abayomi. So we have some minutes left to take question. If you have question, please unmute. Mr. Abayomi, please. If you have question, please raise your hand.
Please, I need the details, the address details.
You need the account detail. The account detail has been dropped in the group. And this is it also on my screen. Money Point, Digital World Tech Academy, 5495591922. So if you are in Ghana, you pay into the Voda Cash, right? If you are in Cameroon, you pay into MTN Momo, and if you are in Kenya, you pay into M-Pesa. What if I pay? And don't worry if you pay. All right, let me do it like this. All the people that will make payment tonight. So now I'm not just taking 30 people. I'm taking everybody that will make payment tonight. Is it a physical or software certification? The certificate will be sent directly to your mail. So with the payment covers all the costs. Yes, the payment covers everything. After this payment, you are not paying anything again. So if you have the full payment, you can make the full payment. But in a situation where you don't have the full payment, you can pay 50% and balance up next month. All right, I wish to have physical class. For now, if you are in Lagos, we have office in Lagos. So you can make payments, right? You can make payments, or you can come to our physical. Yes, we have office in Ikorodu. We have one at Benson. We have another one at Greek, and we have another branch at Ikorodu Garage. So you can send me a DM. Let me send you our address. Then you can come to our physical office. So you can come around whenever you are free. You can also give me a call so that I will give you the location on the one that is closer to you, whether it's Agric or it's Benson or it's Garage. So we are in Ikorodu for now. Okay, Mr. Yusen, please unmute. Please unmute. All right. Please go ahead.
Yes, good evening, Mr.
Good evening, sir.
Thank you for your time, please.
You're welcome, sir.
You have office in Port Harcourt?
For now, we don't have office in Port Harcourt, but we are working on it. We don't have office in Port Harcourt, but we are working on it.
Confirm your phone number, 0911.
Yeah, this is my phone number, 091-1614-2614. That's my phone number.
Is it also your private WhatsApp number?
It's my private WhatsApp number. And you can also pick my number from the group.
Okay, no problem. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Do we have any other question before we call it a day? Is there any other question? Do we have any other question? So how many of us have made payment to join this class on Saturday? So if I want someone to pay for me. Now, if you want someone to pay for you, put your name in the description. Tell the person to put your name in the description. And also tell the person to send the receipt to you so that you can drop it in the group. So you should be the one that will drop it in the group. yourself. So I'm ready to pay, but I don't have a laptop. Yes, you can join the class without a laptop, but before the end of this class, try to get the laptop. If you don't have a laptop, you can join the class, but before the end of the class, try to get a laptop. Before the end of the class, try to get a laptop before the end of the class. All right. Yes, our certificate is recognized globally. So it's not only in Nigeria that we have students. We have students in Ghana. We have students in Cameroon. We have students in Kenya. We have students in Canada. We have students in China. We have students in Netherlands. Right? So, yes, if you have any 4 gig laptop, 4 gig laptop is good. So you can do it with 4 gig laptop. All right. Is there any other question? Is there any other question? Once you make your payment, just drop it in the group. Our admin will confirm your payment. Then you will get your registration form. So you fill the registration form. Once you fill the registration form, then you'll be added to the paid group. You'll be added to the paid group. So after the paid group, you are going to get access to the elements. Which Microsoft Excel? I will advise if you can get the latest version of Microsoft Excel or Excel 2021, because we are going to treat some formulas that are not on Excel 2016. So if you are using Excel 2016, I'll advise you update your Excel to like the latest, probably 2021 and Office or Office 365. So what if I want to pay after the Saturday? What is it called? The class link will be dropped in the paid group. The class link will be dropped in the paid group. Do you understand? It will be dropped in the paid group. So you won't get access to it if you are not in the paid group. Kindly send me a DM, Mr. Kelvin. Mr. Kelvin, please send me a DM. So do you have any question, please? Let me take one more question before we call it a day. One more question before we call it a day. Just one more question before we call it a day. Let me take one question before we call it a day. One more question. One more question before we call it a day. Is there any other question? Is there any other question? Is there any other question? Is there any other question before we call it a day? Any question from anybody? Is there any question from anybody? Is there any question from anybody before we call it a day? If you have any question, please, you see I should DM you. You can drop your payment proof in the group. Our admin will confirm your payment. And if you have any other question that you want to ask me, you can send me a DM, right? You can send me a DM on WhatsApp, or you can also give me a call. Another thing is time and dates for the class. The class is every Friday and Saturday. Every Friday and Saturday, starting this Saturday. We are starting on the 8th of March 2025 by 8:30 Nigerian time, and Cameroonian time is also 8:30, 7:30 Kenyan time, 7:30 Kenyan time, and if you are in 7:30 Ghana time. So if you are in Kenya, it's 10:30 for now, but we are still working on the Kenya time. So once we get it sorted, we will talk about it and we'll add you to a new group. All right. Is there any question? Is there any other question before we call it a day? We spent 2 hours in this class. Do we have any question? Any question before we call it a day? Some people are already sending me a DM. I'm going to attend to you after the webinar. All right. So were you able to learn something in today's webinar? Let me know if you're able to learn something in today's webinar. Were you able to learn something in today's webinar? Please let me know. Let me know. I mean, how many hours per class? We spend 2 hours maximum in class because it's a practical class. So we spend 2 hours. Sometimes we can spend more than that. Sometimes we might not spend up to that. So you learn something. If you learn something in today's class, please let me know. Were you able to learn something? So you can also practice what you learned today and send it to me, right? And send it to me. So if you send it to me, I can help you to check it, then tell you the next thing to do. I can help you to check it and tell you the next thing to do. All right, we have Samsung. So let me take Samsung SM. Please unmute SMA245F, right? Please unmute. Not you.
Hello, good evening.
Yeah, good evening, boss.
I like the topics treated so far. It's a new development, and I want you to continue. This is not a question, but I want you to continue. It's an eye-opener for so many people. It's an eye-opener for people that are in the digital world.
Yes,
and being a teacher in ICT of a college, a state college, I am highly delighted to hear all that you have started, the way you started, and the way you have brought the old topics.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. God
you,
bless
sir.
you.
Thank you very much, sir.
God bless you. Have a nice day.
And you too.
I'll surely be part of you. I'll surely be part of the training very soon.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Okay, I have another person, Samsung A245F. Are you still the same person? A245F. Samsung SM A245F. Please, please unmute. Are you still the same person? Please share okay, I will drop the replay of today's class in the group, and also the data set that I use, it will be dropped in the group. The slide that I use will be dropped in the group, and the course outline will also be dropped in the group. It will be dropped in the group. All right. Okay, you can go ahead now. Let me take you for the last before we call it a day. So feel free to always reach out to me, whether you joined the class or you did not join the class. Please feel free to reach out to me if you have any question at all. Any question at all. You can always reach out to me via WhatsApp or phone call. Please reach out to me. If you send me a DM on WhatsApp and I did not respond, probably I might be in class or be in a meeting. Please send me a DM on WhatsApp or give me a call on WhatsApp. My number is +234 9116 142614. So you can also pick my number from the group. My name is Akim Abiodun. Right? This is my number 142614. So 9116142614. This is my number. So this is my number that I just dropped here now. So you can pick it from here, or you can send me a DM on WhatsApp. All right. Thank you all for showing up. I really appreciate all of you, and I hope to see you in class on Saturday by the special grace of God. By the special grace of God, I hope to see you in class on Saturday. Thank you all very much. Whether you joined the class or you did not join the class, feel free to save my number. If you have any question or if you practice any of the things that I taught in today's class and you did not get it, just send me a DM. I'll be there to attend to you or give me a call. So you actually don't need, so whether you are in the class or you are not in the class, feel free to send me a DM, send me a message, give me a call. I'll be there to attend to you. Thank you all very much and enjoy